Hi everyone, and this time I decided to draw like a more detailed character with better lighting. I've added some blurs, some more effects, made the eyes more detailed than the last. And I guess it could be fair to say that this looks very complicating and impossible, but trust me, it is not hard at all, and I can easily help you with how to draw it. Okay, so first we need a simple design, like a simple character idea on what to draw. So it can be messy sketches. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything like that. Like just like draw what you think, and after that idea, just lower the opacity over and over from like layer after layer, which could take a while, but the results would be better. Like I know many artists who done this and it helped them out very much, and I know it would help you out as well. And then you'd think I'm done with this, but now I added in another layer. I then go back to the original layer and then lower the opacity so I could see where I'm drawing or where I'm adding the borderlines the on the character or on the reference idea. So yeah, I do it over and over again. I decided to add the eyes over there as well. And the reason why it looks so symmetrical is because all you have to do is just copy and paste, and trust me, it is not cheating at all. And besides, you are not copying anybody just by doing that. So there's no shame of doing it, and it isn't cheating, and it is a very common thing most artists use. So there's no shame that. But anyway, let's get on back to the video. So over here, I basically merged all the layers together into one. I then I then added in another layer. Oh, no, wait, I actually duplicated a layer and then I went back to the original layer and I lowered the opacity to make it seem a bit more faded so I know where I'm putting the dark colors on like the character to make the lines more clearer. Like if you look a bit closer, the lines don't really seem that great, so I obviously had to fix it a little bit. I just put like random strokes of here to fix that problem. And now it's time for the colors. And once again, the colors do not have to be complicating at all. Like, if you actually look at like artists progressing on their drawings, things like if you like see the drawings with like a lot of lighting and detail, so first they basically like add the basic colors because we have to know like what we're doing or you're doing. And then after that I put some colors on the clothes as well, and I wanted the face to be a little bit blue. At the end of the drawing the face doesn't look that blue because I added all the lighting and I wouldn't want it to look unrealistic kind of thing, so obviously I had to change that later on in the drawing. I did just a nice bow tie for there. Yeah, that looked cute. Then I was thinking of like making it look cool, so I added some like dark blue spikes on it. I add different shades of blue and color. I guess it could be fair to say that like you would want to pick different shades. The result wouldn't change too much. So you certainly would be too worried about that. I added some dark blue, cayenne blue, and I also like copied and pasted and reflected the colors from my canvas, which still looked pretty good. Had some great results. Just like slightly change the color, like keep it the same color, like the same variety, if that's what you call it, as well. Yeah. But anyway, that should be just about right for this one. Add some light blue on the top of the hill. It's kind of like cayenne blue. Yeah, I would say that kind of looks like cayenne blue, I would say. And then add some random strokes of color to the hill over here. The result would still be good, I promise you. And now it's time to cover the black outlines. I would say like the black outlines should be changed to like the for this drawing, for example, I would need to change it to semi dark blue color. Well, it's like distinctive, detailed, and it doesn't have to be a black outline. There are like many other colors that you can pick, which would be the great result. But like for this one, I kinda, well, for many of my drawings, I pretty much wanted it there to be like no black outline, except for the eyes and the eyebrows, including the nose and mouth. I'm okay with that part. Now, as you can see here, I put like curvy lines. I put some strokes of light color, dark color, maybe some semi-dark, maybe some semi-bright color. It can be anything. And now, if you're wondering why I put pure white, well, this is actually a very common technique and it actually can be pretty useful if you're trying to achieve like the realistic light color. I would say like this pretty much like makes it more detailed and it kind of like makes the viewer keep keep their eyes on the drawing more because of like the amount of light there is and the amount of significance there is on the drawing pretty much. And now time for the eyes. And once again, the eyes do not have to be complicating at all, trust me. I decided to make like dark gray and light gray eyes to like kind of like think of an idea of what I could add or draw on the eyes. If I used any exotic colors, it could potentially be like the eyes, like it could potentially make the drawing look weird or possibly bad in any way, which in my opinion, I don't think any drawing is bad or weird. Like any drawing can express anything. And I decided to, obviously, the most important part in every character you see is to add the corona on the eyes because, well, obviously, like almost all eyes have coronas in them, even us. Alright, and then add some like spiky eyelashes, the eyes. Obviously, even the line sticking out of the eye. Don't know really quite so what you call that as, but it did work out quite as well. So I decided to keep that detail. And as you can see here, I'm covering the black outline with the face outline because, well, because to make it like look more vivid and detailed, pretty much. And I have no reason to keep the black outline on the head, neck, or the clothing or anywhere anymore. So it was time for me to remove that part to basically or essentially cover it. And I added some like very bright white color on top of the hair as well because I potentially knew that when I filter the drawing and put the effects on it or just pretty much adjust the effects, I knew that like the white color would definitely be the most effective color because the color white is, well, pretty much like, how do I explain this? It's pretty much like the most sensitive color or when it comes to effects or bright light. If you have been like drawing for long enough, you could potentially have noticed that detail. I didn't want there to be like too much whites, so I kind of overlapped it with dark blue, like going over the white color, and added some light blue as well, or to overlap the white color. I hope I'm not explaining this too complicating, yeah, but I am trying my best to explain to you about this. Oh, also, if you're curious about this detail, I wanted there to be like wanted there to be a light casting from the hair, so I obviously decided to add that detail. See? Uh-huh. So this is like the light, like those curvy lines. This is the light reflecting from the hair. Yeah, I'll assume like this is like a nice detail I wanted to add, so I decided to add that detail as well. Added the mouth and the nose. And over here on the left and on the right, you can see, okay, yeah, you could see that it is quite blurry. Well, I kind of wanted to make it feel like this nostalgic or this time time effect being really like a character emerging of out of the light or a person slowly gaining conscious or the other things which could potentially happen. Like kind of like gives you like a more focused feeling when looking at it. Like the left and right side of the hill is kind of like blurry and kind of like bright, while you like the face, head, and the center of the head and body is like perfectly clear, and you can like clearly like see the character of it. I added some dark shadows on the eyes. I put a random detail there. I added some like like a lot of line strokes, kind of like sharp curvy strokes, and much more. I thought it would be a little bit cool to potentially slightly cover the eyelashes and the eyebrows with like the long hair as well. To kind of make it look a little bit more playful. The neck looked a bit weird, and wait, I know what you're wondering. If you're wondering what that is, the pink and purple one, I was basically trying to filter the drawing really because this is a very common technique. Okay, there we go. I thought that would look cool. I mean, I guess I would still support your idea if you think it still looks cool, but I potentially like found like better ways for myself to make out the drawing, and I wasn't really quite a fan of this effect, and other people weren't as well, so I did skip that effect and decided to use the other effects that were more helpful and gave me better results. I added some vivid light, linear light, added light, and I also used blurring effects that you can easily find on your canvas. I also added some added light on the eyes. It just like it added like a big dot on the eyes as well. It is highly advisable and recommended to not really combine the the affected layers, like the light color layers together, because they provide some very weird results, and I've never done that ever again, because like it made the drawing look a bit questionable, so I wouldn't really advise you to do that. I also added some like light shadow under the eye as well. It made the coronas of the eyes look a bit more detailed, more brighter, and there we have it. Overall, I hope you got these details very well. I hope you find this video useful and have a good day. Thanks.